Okay, and welcome back to the Earmark podcast. I am your host, Dante, and welcome back. It's been a minute. I swear I say that every episode, but it has been a minute. A lot has changed. As it should, it's been a couple months, things should change. But yeah, today I want to talk to you guys about the gift that keeps on giving, aka the curse of being gifted or just being different in general. I think it goes without saying that people don't know how to handle differences. We don't know how to deal with people holding different beliefs than us, different morals and values and different opinions. Every single time those things kind of rub together, they cause a little conflict, a little fire, if you would. I mean, it goes into a lot of things, right? For example, if you're above average looking, yes, you're gonna have a phenomenal time or a better time with other things, like dating and whatnot than other people. But you're also gonna have a hard social life sometimes because, people are always like, there goes that pretty girl, or there goes that pretty nigga, that pretty boy, blah, 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 blah. If you're smart at school, they say you're nerdy, you're geeky, or whatever, If you're an art major, they'll be like, this guy is goofy, you know what I'm saying? Or corny, like they talking about Michael B. Jordan right now, right? But yeah, just being different in itself is going to cause you a lot of headaches. I see a lot of phenomenal people like settling into trying to be normal so that they don't have a lot of backlash, for lack of a better word. I've always been attracted or drawn to people who are just different. One of my friends, Jamie, from high school, man, he's been, on that spiritual path before these chakra huns, these star sign chicks, started copywriting it, man. My guy was on that before everybody, He's always wanted to understand how the universe and the world works. He's always been interested in those things, He talked to me about the Kundalini before I even knew what that was, But yeah, basically he's just been different. He's always been smart too, and also he was tall and good looking, so I guess, he didn't have that much, backlash because of those other things. But in general, people, you could see it sometimes. Some people will look at it and be like, man, this is kind of weird. But at the same time, the guy was also smart, good looking, athletic, so it was very hard for a lot of people to even, say it. But you could see it. Some people were not so lucky. Some people were interested in, different things, art or whatever, acting, and they were not good looking, or they were not tall, or they were just socially awkward, even if they were average looking, right? And, they always got made fun of, they always got picked on, they was told it was like a little zesty or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you could see it, man. I mean, for me, when I was in junior high, right, I knew that I was different. And not because it was, something that I identified myself. It was people always telling me, yo, why do you talk like that? Like, why do you talk like that? Like, who are you trying to impress, bro? I know you faking it, man. Come on, I know you're doing it for the girls, right? Or, you get those occasional, yo, it must be nice to be you. And you asking yourself, what the hell does that even mean, man? You must be a hater. But, I remember one time I was chilling with one of the boys. And this is junior high, bro. I'm at a public school, right? Fresh out of coming from elementary or primary school. I think those are the same. If I'm wrong, just tell me, right? Yeah, even then, well, people thought I was different because of just that, right? So when you come to a public school, right, in a third world country where everything is vernac, right? People got that strong vernac, my guy. You get me? Don't get me wrong, right now I'm an old man. And I still speak like this, I guess, it's never gonna go away. But I remember I was chilling with the boys in junior high, and one of these guys comes through, real cool, funny guy, he was a comedian. He comes through, he's cracking jokes or whatever. And then, we started talking about girls that was the norm because, we were pubescent teens, bro. we were just, yeah, you get it. You get it. We wanted girls, all right? You get it. So my guy gets to me and he says, yo, man, it must be nice. I'm like, Oraya, which like translates to like, what do you mean? Then he said, you know, you smart, bruh. You're a pretty boy. You know, the girls like you, you know. So, you know, me, I'm like this and I'm like that and blah, blah, blah. He's talking about how he isn't doing so well in school and he's not so, you know, good with girls and whatever. And, you know, he was making those comparisons, and as he was going on, the guy's face was starting to turn. You can see the hate. I don't even think he could see it himself because we were kids back then, but you could see it in his face that, yo, this guy was like, yo, it's so fucking unfair. And it is, right? And maybe that's why it's hard, right? Maybe that's why people just have an adverse reaction to people that are different. It's, well, if you're super good looking, it's not fair. You get to, you know, talk to all the girls or all the guys like you, something like that. Or if you're really smart, man, screw this little nerdy ass kid. He thinks he's smart and better than all of us. You know what I'm saying? Then they band around together and they just kind of make fun of the smart kid. And, you know, I feel sorry for a lot of smart kids because high school was like the worst experience for them. The flipping worst, man. Sheesh, right? And all the drama kids, the kids that like the music and whatever. I mean, like where I live, in Botswana, by the way, right? Where I live, liking the arts is seen as a low IQ thing, right? People usually look at artists and say, well, the reason why he's an artist is because he failed at school. He couldn't, you know, he wasn't intellectual enough. He couldn't read books. He just, you know, he's a dud, basically. And, you know, that's how they treat it. Of course, you know, the more successful you are, the less of that you get. I don't know if it's because people are afraid or they're just saying, well, he's a different type of individual, you know. We'll make an exception for him. But this side, man, education is everything. Going to college is everything. Getting a degree is everything. Getting your master's or whatever, it's everything this side. Guys don't wake up dreaming of becoming hoopers. I mean, some do. You know, some dream of becoming basketball players or whatever. But you're in a third world country, man, and nobody even knows, like, where Botswana is. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure if you ask somebody where that is, they'll be like, man, I don't know. Shit. Nobody really expects anything from a country like this. On top of that, you already are a different individual from, you know, everybody. So, you know, with that being that, you're just always going to have this conflict with people. You're always going to have this little friction with people. And, you know, you see it sometimes in the small things. I'll give you another example with myself because, you know, it's the best reference point, I guess, right? So I remember one time I was driving to the gas station. I just got in my car, you know, it was nice. I was banging some music. I was just, you know, so ecstatic. And I came there with a big old ass, goofy ass smile. You know how it is, man. As a guy, I became a car guy because of this car, you know. Yeah, but as a man, you know, we like cars. We like these things. So I'm feeling fresh or whatever. I stopped there, parked the car, and I'm looking around. I'm like, looking. I was even almost about to step out, and the petrol or gas attendant, whatever, the guy pulls through from the back, and I can see him in my rear view. I'm like, all right, cool. So I started looking for some money. I grab a few hundreds. I'm like, yo, man, give me a full tank of gas. He looks at me like he didn't even hear me. So I repeated, and he says, no, go, dude. Like, I heard you. For anybody who doesn't understand what that means. He said, yo, I heard you. I was like, you know, what's the attitude? But anyway, you know, I had a brand new car. It was a good day. He's pouring the gas, you know. A girl calls me. You know, I talked to her, and I think it was on loudspeaker, you know, so he's hearing me talk to a girl. He's thinking, oh man, these little niggas in their nice cars, and you know, this pretty boy shit, so like the full thing. He thinks, you know, he thinks he's that nigga. So, you know, at that time, I didn't see it that way, but you know, the more times I kept coming up to these spots and getting that kind of treatment, I was realizing, yo, niggas don't like being outshined, I guess, right? And I think the thing that made it even worse is that I look a lot younger than I am, like incredibly young, right? Dude, I'm like bordering on 30 right now, and I look like I just got into my 20s, right? I look very young. So yeah, I think that plays a role into it. But yeah, also, like I was saying before, because I look like I have an easy life, and I don't. Not by any stretch of the imagination. My life is it can get rough sometimes. Is all I'm gonna say. But because you look like you have an easy life, people just kind of disregard everything, all the hard work you put in. They'll be like, nah, it's because his life is like this that he's got the things he does. And I was like, bro, I saved up for years just to get a car. I didn't buy nothing, I didn't spend my money funny. Don't get me wrong, I mean, there was a year when I was just going on random trips. I was taking my girl out to every single hotel and restaurant that just got open. We were just having a fun time because sometimes, you just want to have fun, see the city, see the new places and all that shit. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, I get to talk to some of the girls that are my friends, and they always talk to me about how they get so much hate from other girls and they don't know why. I mean, for me, I could be like, shit, you pretty as hell. It'll be weird for them not to feel intimidated by you. They go on these tangents. They're like, I mean, whenever I'm like in a friend group, I can see that sometimes when guys come to me, or the other girls get uncomfortable, and sometimes they go out without me and whatever. So I hear her talking. I'm like, damn, shawty, welcome to the club. It's not fair. It isn't. Sometimes because you're above average looking, they think, it's easy. And don't get me wrong, like I said before, being above average looking makes your dating life a lot easier than a lot of people. But in the same vein, it can make it extra hard because I feel like there's no in between, right? It's either it's really good or really bad. I'll give you an example again of myself. Sometimes girls just kind of drawn to me. They give me their numbers, they make conversation, whatever. And sometimes you can see a girl in the face. She's like, nah, nigga, I'm not even going to give you the time of day. You're already like good looking as it is. If I compliment you, you're going to get a big head. And I'm like, dude, you're already telling me what I already know. So not really, but yeah, but like I'm not going to compliment you. I'm not going to talk to you, man. You must think, you fly. And I remember one time when I was in college, right? I sat down, I was talking with this girl, man. I was just striking up conversation. It's just me. I was bored, man. And I was still, running around heavy back in those days. But yeah, I'm sitting with this girl. She's like, I don't know why you're so interested in talking to me, man. What did she say? She's like, I don't go out. I'm not that type of girl. I'm not easy, whatever. Yeah, basically her insecurities came out, or I don't know, man. I didn't even ask the girl out, really, if I'm being honest with you, right? But she went on this long tangent, and one of my boys was there watching from across we were sitting on a bench, so it was like couple benches were like across from each other, but like adjacent, right? Not exactly like face to face, but you get what I'm saying. But yo, man, this girl went on a tangent. I remember my boy looking, he was like, yo, what the hell just happened, bro? And I was there like, bro, I don't know what happened too, right? That was just crazy, bro. Like, I guess maybe I reminded her of somebody. I don't know, man. But yeah, sometimes I'll be walking with my boy and you can see a guy starting to mate guard as we pass by him and his chick. So mate guarding is when, somebody feels intimidated, so they clutch onto their girl real tight, or, they put their arm around her, or they start being extra affectionate, just to, I guess, distract the girl or something. I don't know, man. And we be just nice dudes. We ain't even about that life. So it'll be weird sometimes when you see niggas do that, right? But you see it and you're like, I don't get it though. I mean, I do, but yeah. But basically, all I'm saying is, for all this talk about being different, from separating yourself from the populace or being above the rest, putting yourself in the 1% of the 1%, you are going to face a lot of pushback. All right. Some people are going to think you're weird. They're going to think, yo, what the hell? Who do you think you are? feeling like this and feeling so confident and whatever, you're a narcissist. And I always say this, narcissist, if I remember the text right, the psychological text right, it's narcissism is confidence without the competence, right? It's people that can't do the work, but they just kind of, they just feel like they can because they're them, So yeah, it's not really, arrogant if you can back it up, right? But yeah, being different is gonna make you stick out, whether you like it or not. So you gotta learn how to navigate that. And I know, this is a weird subject, especially seeing as how a lot of men these days feel invisible, right? That's exactly why the Andrew Tates of the world and all these manosphere guys are so popular, because a lot of men feel invisible and they feel like they're not being seen or heard or whatever. And I get it. So even when I give my advice to guys, I try to be as realistic as possible, because I know that some of the things I do is not going to work for everybody, but there are things that, you got to learn. I'm sorry, even if you're good looking, you got to learn the game. You got to learn how to talk to women, don't get me wrong, these days I don't throw as much energy out no more because I'm getting old as shit. But yeah, sometimes, you got to get back into the ring, show people you still got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But basically, being different and being gifted, as much as the media tries to glorify it, it's not, all shits and giggles. It's not all fun. You are going to do well in other things and do horrible in other things. So take all of that advice with a grain of salt. Like I always say in my podcast, take everything I say with a grain of salt. But yeah, my thing is, you'd rather be extraordinary than to be ordinary. Not everybody's a boss. Not everybody's going to be at the top of the totem pole, but be the best version of yourself, basically. All right. Until next time, man.